Welcome to your Perfect Locks on-demand certification for our Fusion I-tip extensions. Complete training series to get you started with your new service. We'll review the best practices for client consultation, effortless application, finishing technique, and pricing. Module 2. The installation. Proper placement and technique is everything.
Congratulations, you've made it to our installation module. This is my client, Caitlin, and during our consultation, we decided that we're going to use our I-tip Fusion beaded hair extensions. So we decided to do the I-tip beads because it was her first time doing extensions, and it's a great option for those that want less commitment. On average, I-tips can last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the client's hair growth. Typically, you will need 3 to 4 packs of hair for thin hair, 4 to 6 for medium, and 6 to 8 for thick hair. Now I'm going to show you what tools you'll need to get started.
For this service, you'll need our pulling loop wand, plier set, loop brush, a tail comb, and alligator clips, plus our micro ring beads in the color of your choice.
Let's get started. On the day of the service, you want to make sure that you clarify and completely dry the hair.
Begin by sectioning the hair, spiraling and clipping it up and out of the way with alligator clips. Sectioning is key, so take your time and make sure all partings have clean lines.
So we're going to start off with the T parting, as you can see that I've done here. This is to help keep this hair out of the way while we start in the back of the nape. As you can see, my sectionings are very clean. And the reason why you want to work in a clean section is so that we don't bring hair from other directions that can cause lots of breakage and uncomfortableness for your client. Because we are lengthening Caitlin's hair today, we're going to start at the nape because Caitlin wants length. If your client wants volume, you can start at the occipital bone. And it really just depends on your client's hair and the density of it. A little stylist tip that I like to do is to place your comb right at that parting. And if you can see the comb, then you know you'll be able to see the beads. So you would want to bring your parting up more. Now we're going to install the first row.
Start by threading several micro ring beads onto our pulling loop wand. Take a V-shaped section with the same amount of hair as the I-tip. It is necessary to match the amount of hair to be able to support the extension. Thread the bead onto the hair using your loop wand. Keep the bead close to the scalp. Avoid moving the bead around as this can cause hair to move out of form and compromise the application. Lift hair and section out the hair that does not belong. Sometimes there are little hairs that have traveled from outside of the section. You must make sure that these are taken out of the section as they can end up pulling on the scalp or coming out from the scalp. This can cause your client discomfort. Keep the natural hair at 0-degree angle and insert the I-tip strand into the bead and on top of the natural hair. Apply the I-tip approximately 1/4 inch away from the scalp to allow comfort and natural movement. Align the top of the extension strand with the top of the bead and clamp the bead down, starting in the center and then on each side until it is flat. Repeat steps 3 through 7 and work up to the crown while installing every strand per row. The pattern and amount of strands used will vary depending on the client's natural texture and density. As you move to the sides of the head, keep in mind to leave out approximately 1-inch section of natural hair.
Pro tip, You want to make sure that your tool is not elevated and against your client's head when you're clamping. This ensures that there won't be any breakage or the waterfall effect, which you don't want. Now that we finished our first row, I want to explain to you why I didn't go all the way across. And it's the same concept if your client's going to wear their hair up. You don't want the beads to show. And you can still use the same tip that I gave you from the nape. And you don't see the rat tail comb, so we should be good on that. Now that I've installed the second row, I wanted to show you where I placed it. On Caitlin, she has medium to thick hair. So for thick hair installation, you want to place your second row right on top of your first row and leave no hair out. If she had medium hair, you can leave a row out, and for fine hair, you can leave 2 rows out. Now that I've got to the center of the head, I wanted to show you my medium installation, and I leave some hair out. So it's about a 1 row out. For thick hair, you leave no hair out. And then for fine hair, you want to leave at least 2 rows of hair. So now that we've gotten to the crown of the head, you want to take your parting in a horseshoe all the way through to the sides. This will be your last parting in the back, and then we will continue on the sides. When I start my row, I usually start from the center and work my way from one side to the next. Now that we are to the side of the head, we're going to place our sides in rows. You want to make sure that you go past the ear so that we don't have a gap here. We want this to be full. Also, we went back and added a row because of her hair was so thick. So don't be afraid. If you see that you need more hair, you can always go back and fill in some of the rows. Leaving the perimeter out, so when she wears it up, we do not see the beads. And we can use the same method that we used on the nape with our rat tail comb. And as you can see, you can't see that, so that means you won't be able to see the beads.
The final section is the most important. You want to work around the crown and not through, starting below the crown so the beads will not show through. Before proceeding, take into consideration where the client parts their hair, and if they have any cowlicks, where the part will be. Wherever their part is, you want to avoid putting a weft in that area so the installation is discreet and invisible.